Well, welcome back to Margaritas in Paradise. Hey, isn't it a great day out here? It's a fantastic day to be in Thailand, that's for sure. I have a lot of people ask me all the time about prices of how much it costs to live here. Okay, but today we're going to compare it a little bit differently. We're going to look at how inflation has affected Pattaya and Thailand in general. So stay tuned on that. We're going to dive into that, break it down, and compare things from today versus back when I first came here. How many times have you heard that it was better before? I always say, I've arrived here 10 years too late. It doesn't matter where I've been in the world, I've always arrived 10 years too late. That's the way it goes. And I'll tell you what, in all the time that I've been coming here to Thailand, I only remember the baht being in my favor. The highest I remember, in all honesty, at one point this last year was at 38 to the dollar earlier this year, but I don't remember ever being any higher than that. And people say, oh yeah, it was. Well, okay, maybe I should look that up. But anyway, when I compare things a lot of times, and maybe this is, I'm maybe short myself, but for easy comparison, I always say 30 baht to the dollar. Hey, I want to put out a special shout out. The other day I met George from Greece, and I saw him out on the street down at Pattaya Thai and Second Road, I think it was. Anyway, shout out to George. Nice to meet you, brother. Inflation in Thailand. How have prices compared over the years? Is it more expensive to travel to Thailand than it was in prior years? It depends on how you look at it, okay? If you're coming here as a tourist and you're going to be doing tourist things, then I would definitely say that we have a tourist inflation. But if you're here trying to live like a Thai would live, a basic lifestyle in the land of paradise, land of smiles, and really you have control of your budget and that sort of thing, then I don't think there's any inflation here, probably in a lot of years, okay, because there's a lot of things that cost the same as it did 20 years ago. If you're coming here for a holiday, one of the things that you're going to find out right away is how cheap accommodations can be. 20 years ago, when I first started coming here, let's say in 2006 when I retired from the military, prices I was paying back then for a hotel room was approximately 1,000 baht, $30 a night. All right. Now, I can look at a Condo right now, and I'll try to put some examples in there. And I would say the average price of a room right now, just about anywhere in Thailand, is probably 1,000 baht a night. You can still find places for $10 a night. All right. But I always suggest to people that because prices are so reasonable for accommodations, for hotels and things like that, that maybe you should go up a level in your accommodations, because it's amazing what you can get for, let's say, $100 US. You could go from a 3-star property to maybe a 5-star or a 4-star for $100 or less a night. Now, is that worth it to you? So a lot of my friends talk about they can't do anything in the U.S. without spending $150, $200 a night for a hotel. Now, that's out of my price range, guys. I don't stay in hotels like that, or I try not to. I avoid it. I really do. When I travel around Thailand, out on my road trips and that, more than likely I'm spending probably under 1,000 baht a night. What do you think of that for a hotel price? Is that cheap? Put in the comment section below what type of prices you would pay at the places you're from. All right, put it in the comment section below. I want to know how much you would pay. I always tell people to upgrade their accommodation stay. Why not stay in a nicer place? When you go to Bangkok, you can stay in the landmark right there on Sukhumvit, right in the middle of all the action. and get in there for, let's say, $150 to $100 a night, depending on what night it is. So take advantage of that type of stuff when you're in Thailand, for sure. And if you want to live like a backpacker or like I travel, you really can do it easily on $20 a night. I know I'm doing a lot of shout outs anymore. This last week it was just crazy for the guys that ended up buying me a drink. And if you want to know more about that, you can check the description below for a link for that. But I definitely appreciate it. Joe M, super generous. I appreciate your generosity. And Tony, again, thank you very much. I definitely appreciate it. Now let's get back to it. Now, a couple other things that you think about when it comes to inflation. Does it affect everybody? Fuel prices really here in Thailand have not hardly moved over a few baht in the last 16 years. And I drive a truck, a diesel pickup truck. Thailand has, they kind of govern the fuel prices for diesel fuel, and it keeps our fuel prices down to, it's like 30 baht a liter or so, something like that. And it may fluctuate 1 or 2 baht, but the big picture of the fuel prices is, you know, let's say within 3 or 4 baht, they haven't really moved the needle very much since 2006. So what are we looking at? 18 years, okay, to be in the last 18 years, whether it's gas prices or diesel prices, the prices of fuel have pretty much stayed pretty consistent. And fuel prices, motorbike fuel, the 41 baht per liter, that type of thing. You may be able to find it for 36 up in the village someplace, but still, you're talking about a 5 baht difference. If you're using a premium fuel or something like that, then you're going to spend more, and that's not what we're talking about here. But fuel prices are just unbelievably not went anywhere. And when you compare that to the world economy, you go to the U.S., for instance, where fuel prices maybe in the last year have doubled. When I'm talking about inflation in Thailand, all right, I'm talking about, I think there's 2 types of inflation, okay? There's everyday inflation that you're used to, and that affects everything across the board worldwide. And we don't see that much of an increase here. Now, a Thai national looks at their money different than maybe I would look at my money. So when they think about having to take a ride to get across town, maybe an hour away, and it's going to cost them 200 baht, which is, let's just say, $6. That's very expensive to some people. You take a Westerner that's used to spending, let's say, $25 or $30 to go across town, and now they only have to pay $6, and they're just loving life. In Thailand, people will really watch every baht, and they're trying to make their baht go a lot further. But you have to remember that the average Thai wage is considerably lower than what you're used to working for. So the second type of inflation, of course, is tourist inflation. Okay, so anything that tourism affects, it has caused things to go way up in price. Now, I'm going to jump back to hotels, for instance. If you go into, let's say, a world-famous franchise-type hotel or resort, let's say the Dusit Thani or a Sheraton or a Hilton or things like that in general, the prices will probably be much higher compared to a local Thai mom and pop type hotel or resort. There's people of all different statuses in Thailand, there's no doubt about it, but people here are not used to spending the accommodation prices that maybe you are. So to pull into a city and find a room that's going to cost $200 a night is unheard of. You can stay in some pretty nice places for a very small price in Thailand. But if you go out there and look for the top of the line places, if you walk in and say, give me the presidential suite, prices no option, they're going to be all right. They're going to give you prices no option for sure. But that's not the norm here. But have prices went up for hotels in general in the last 18 years? No, they haven't. And unless you're staying in franchise type tourist ended properties. And most people that are staying in these high-end properties, people that are used to spending $500 a night or something like that, they don't care about money anyway, right? I don't know. I've never been in that position, so I've never had that much money to not care about money. So, yeah, it's, you have to go in there with the right idea that you can stay here in Thailand, in Pattaya, at a very reasonable rate, and why not upgrade if you can? So in the last 18 years, no inflation as far as hotels are concerned, in my opinion. Now, what's another big topic is food. Okay, what's food? Is food gone crazy? Well, you know what they talk about. We got all this political stuff going on in the U.S. right now, and they're talking about people going in and buying eggs and hamburger and things like that in the supermarkets, and the prices are through the roof. But here, I just don't see that either. Now, if you come to Thailand and you want to eat a Kansas City steak or New York whatever, you know, you're going to pay Western prices. People come here and they open up these really fancy restaurants, and there's this Argentina steakhouse out there on Pradamak Hill, old Gachos or something like that, and they talk about, I've never been there, but they talk about that place is like $100 a person to go there and eat. That's out of my price range, so I won't be eating there. But people travel from Argentina, I guess, to go eat at this Argentina steakhouse. All right, and if that's what you want to do, definitely do that type of thing. But if you come to Thailand and you really want to immerse yourself into the Thai culture and the lifestyles of Thailand, why wouldn't you eat Thai food? And you know, and Thai food is so good here, and you have the option. You can go to these high-end restaurants and spend a lot of money, or you can go down to the street and really eat amazing food on a dime. And so do what the Thais do, you know. If you're driving down the road and you see a restaurant full of people and it's all Thai people in there, chances are that's a pretty good restaurant. And not only is it a good restaurant, they probably have really great prices in there too, and because that kind of goes hand in hand with what the locals do. You have to look for, if you come here to eat Taco Bell or McDonald's or Subway, okay, you're going to pay a premium for that type of thing. If you come here and eat Thai food, you may end up spending, let's say, $3 for a meal. And it could be more than that, but you can do it very reasonably here. I told you before, my budget for eating is 800 baht a day. Now that translates, let's just say, in simple terms, 800 baht translate to $24 a day. Now, the normal in for me, I don't normally come anywhere close to that, but that's how much I allow myself to eat if I want. I think yesterday, for all my meals and everything, from what I ate here, altogether I spent like 380 baht. It's very doable. And of course, another shout out goes to Gene. Let's see, what is it? Gene H. Thank you for your generosity on a drink. And Alex, I appreciate it as well. Thank you very much. You guys are very humbling. Thank you. So in Thailand, if you're used to having wine with dinner for every night, okay, I would suggest trying the Thai local wines here. Imported wine here is expensive, and the tariffs they put on those wines are high. Even though there's not supposed to be tariffs on wine, wine prices are still very, very expensive here. So when we're talking about anything imported, it's going to cost more, right? So if you want USDA steaks, if you want steaks from Australia or New Zealand or wherever in the world, things are going to cost more. It goes the same for, let's say you want live Maine lobster, okay? I can't remember the last time I've seen snow crab legs here, okay? Normally we have the little sand crabs and blue crabs and things like that, which are a lot different than what I'm used to in the USA. But if you do find those things in Thailand, you're going to end up paying more for them. So if you come here looking for those type of items, prices are, you know, $100 a pound or a kilo or whatever it is in the US, it's probably going to cost even that much more here. So if you can come here and eat what the locals eat, do that. But if you come here to buy, if you're from the USA and you come here to buy a new pair of Levi's, it costs double what it costs in the US. So kind of keep that in mind as well. One of the things that I always like to bring up is when I arrived here in 2006 and I was introduced to the bot bus. And are you familiar with the bot bus? These small pickup trucks that you jump in the back of them and you ride from point A to point B. Back in 2006, the price to get on one of these bot buses was 10 baht. So approximately, let's just call it 30 cents. All right. So today, 18 years later, the price to ride a bot bus is 10 baht, approximately 30 cents. Okay. So again, has the prices of bot buses been affected by inflation in Pattaya? Not really, but I have to tell you that somebody told me that bot buses have went up in Chiang Mai. Now, or if you're from Chiang Mai, put it down. You can confirm yes or no about whether prices are higher or not. From what I understand, is Chiang Mai bot buses are now 30 baht. All right, which would of course equal to approximately $1. Let's just call it $1. But anyway, considerable increase. And why is that? I don't know. I don't know why their prices have raised and the rest of the countries it's 10 baht. But if it's different where you're from, definitely put it in the comment section below. I want to hear about that. The prices of condos, that type of stuff. You see this beautiful condo behind me? I've talked about it all the time, Park Beach condominiums. You know, it's like about 30 years old. And but it's a fantastic property, and the nice thing about a property like that is they have these large, the basic room there is 55 square meters. Now, you can do the comparison of what that would be in footage, but they're a studio style room, one straight shot. They all have these great sea views, and they're super nice, and that building is it is seaside. It's 40 feet away from the edge of the water, and they have a beautiful pool. You can see a portion of it there in the background. It's a beautiful property. I lived there for almost 5 years myself, and I've been nothing but impressed with it. But even today, you're looking at, I would say, the cheapest I've heard of people finding a room there recently was like 13,000 baht a month. Okay, and some rooms probably on the higher floors than that are bringing around 20,000 baht a month. Now those are for the 55 square meters. There's rooms in there that are 83 square meters. It's a 1-bedroom unit, and still they're comparable in price with the 55 square meter units. And then there's 2-bedroom and 3-bedroom units up in the front, which is the seaside area of the building, and they're considerably more in price. But go across the street in a building like I'm in, and you could probably take at least, I would say, in general, maybe 5,000 baht a month off the general price if you had to compare the two buildings and rooms. Rooms in my building are approximately 48 square meters, compared to the basic rooms over there, 55 square meters, a little bit bigger. Instead of being 40 feet from the water. We're 80 meters to the water. So still a pretty good view. Theirs is a better view. So anyway, there's all that. So when you're kind of comparing that, the prices are very cheap. Now, there's new buildings going up all the time. There's this building over here. Let's see here. Right there, the Arum. I'm anxious to see the inside of a room over there personally, but it's going to be super expensive. I'm interested to see when they start renting rooms what it's going to average, but I bet it's going to be 20 up for rooms over there. And the rooms are probably going to be smaller than what my size is. I think so there's a place across the street from Arum called the Riviera, Wagamot Riviera. You can find rooms in there for $10,000 or less. So what are we looking at? We're talking about like $300 a month. Now I'm going to put a link in the description below for a new place that I'm going to start working with as far as real estate and that's concerned, and rental properties. So you have to check out my buddy Nathan. He's going to hook you up, because if you need a property coming to town, I'll have all his contact information in the video, and you can check him out. And I'll try to put a link here too, so you can click on that and just go directly to him and ask him, let him know what you're looking for, your time frame for when you're coming here. All right. So what do you think? Inflation affected prices here in Thailand. If you're a tourist, yeah, you're dealing with world prices. People are going to charge you as much as you're willing to pay. If you're going to things like the floating market, or going out and riding elephants, or jumping on a jet ski or something like that, then you're going to pay probably the same prices to do that as if you were in Miami, okay, or wherever that has the similar things to do. If you were jumping on a place for a zip line, I saw that we have a zip line here in Pattaya. I've never done it or anything, but it seems to me like they charge $80 per person to go do that, and that, to me, that seems expensive. But maybe that's what it costs to zip line in downtown New York. I don't know. Do they have zip lining in downtown New York? I don't know. But anyway, wherever they have zip lining, I'm sure there's great places all over the world to zip line. It seems like $80, isn't that expensive? I don't know. Okay. So, hey, I appreciate everybody reaching out to me on their favorite football teams. I'm looking at what team am I looking at for all the Spurs? Okay, but I'm still a Chiefs fan. Kansas City Chiefs, go Chiefs. And let me know what your favorite team is in the comment section below. Other than that, everybody have a great day. This is the perfect day to be in Thailand. You know that, right? Okay. We'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.